Okay, hey everybody, welcome to another week of the Job Stickers Job Seeker Resource Group, a live event. Hope all is well. I appreciate everyone tuning in this week and every week via the Facebook or the LinkedIn events we do. I do a LinkedIn event every Wednesday at 2 p.m. as well, so feel free to check me over there. But yeah, I like to just kind of have a couple days a week where I could talk with my audience and there are any job seekers out there or career professionals, and just leave little tidbits along the way, and hopefully just kind of help you on your job hunt. So this week I wanted to just discuss some essentials you need on your resume to be competitive. I'm going to say the first main thing for your resume, it has to pass the 6-second test, right? 6-7 second test you've heard of. Essentially, that's what happens when hiring managers or recruiters or hiring professionals in general, staffing people like me who are career coaches and resume writers, anybody who just are hiring or looking at resumes all the time, are going to start to develop this kind of third eye, if you will, for visualizing what the resume is communicating and if they're a fit to keep reading, right? So it's not necessarily like a vetting or a sourcing of sorts. It's more of just a quick little eye test to see, is this person even remotely relatable to this job opening I have or any job openings? And if so, I'll keep reading to see then if it's a viable candidacy to be able to be passed along to the hiring manager. The key here is a good recruiter first will recruit the the candidate, not the requisition, not the opening. A good recruiter will recruit the candidate, not the opening, because they can fill their pipeline and have much more opportunity to identify solid top talent in the future, not just on that one role they're working. If they just work role to role, it becomes a long process, and they usually don't stick around in staffing as long just because they're not able to kind of have a pipeline that's available, ready to go. So it's important to know that the recruiters should reach out to you as a candidate, regardless if it's an opening or not that you match for, just to vet you and source you into the system and make sure that they have you in their world, so to speak. So once something does come up, they can tap you. Having said that, you need to help them understand that you can do the role and you can do the job. So what are ways to get this 6-second eye test pass? How do you pass the 6-second eye test? First, you need a right layout, and the layout it goes accordingly. You have your contact information, and don't take up a lot of space for this. Your name, and below that, city, state, email, phone number, LinkedIn URL, personal portfolio URL or portfolio website, or personal website, whatever URL, all on one line underneath the name with little dividers. Then you have a summary, which is about a 3-sentence statement that summarizes you as a candidate and what value you most offer in what world. If you're trying to target a teaching role, this would emphasize your ability to, handle the whole full cycle teaching, the whole full teaching life cycle, which would be, lesson development and testing and grading and parent-teacher conferences and all that kind of stuff that goes into even administrative work, like reporting to your principal. So, you kind of want them to know, hey, you're a well-rounded teacher, and then tell them what makes you unique. Almost maybe sprinkle in a little bit of your teaching philosophy here, but it has to be one line, right? So summarize and condense it so the most impact, bang for your buck statement comes out. And then maybe a final line saying, hey, here's what I'm trying to do next, and here's how I'm going to help you. So again, these are about 3 sentences. Just think of value, your uniqueness that makes them understand you are a teacher that can handle this role because you can pretty much handle any sort of teaching job, and then keep moving on to read the rest of your document. Next, you want a skills section. The skills section is imperative for you to use because it will show that you have relatable terms on your resume that match what they have in their world. And in their world, they're going to have things like, IEPs, maybe some like Blackboard, which is a good skill if you're familiar with some online software, curriculum development, classroom management, parent student relationship development, you know, administrative, education administration, or, you know, like things that really set you off as a teacher, excuse me, separate you from being, you know, somebody in the general public. And these are words that kind of make the reader go, oh, this is a teacher resume, because look at these words. These relate to my world if I was a principal trying to hire a teacher. And you want to use the job description as the #1 source for words that are relevant. That is going to be, that's coming right from the hiring manager's mouth. So the recruiters that write these job descriptions, they're asking the managers to help them build in what they're looking for. And they're going to use some of these words when they're vetting, because recruiters got to start figuring out words to use to find you as a candidate. So think about what words they'll use, and they usually use them right from the job description. Next, you want to have an accomplishments section. This will make your resume more of a combinational format, we call it. And that's essentially just having this accomplishments section that will allow for you to put your biggest strengths, wins, project achievements, successes, you know, operational successes, anything that really wows the reader. This is also a neat little section that you can use if you want to bring in some older content. Let's say you had a job that was a teaching role in the 90s, and you had just a really, you know, maybe you had a really sound award that's really cool you want to keep on there, but you don't want to really mention 1990s in your actual experience section because it's a bit dated. So you will want to take that one line about that award, or maybe you secured a grant, or you did something, built a program in a school that you're really proud of, whatever. But then you want to take that and you can massage it into the accomplishments section. Then during an interview, you can let them know where that happened if they ask. But that's going to be a nice little trick, but really hone in on what are some metric-based or quantifiable achievements that may not have a number attached to them, but you can still kind of quantify the statement to show that bottom line impact. And then, or like just some really neat stories or wins. But again, you want to summarize these little sentences as quick as you can. One sentence, you have maybe about 5 to 7 of them underneath this accomplishment section. And each sentence should only be about a line or 2 lines maximum. So that's where the writing really comes in. This is kind of where this is where I make my money, is being able to kind of conceptualize and then get this writing in place on a resume. So it sounds resume-esque. Again, it just helps with passing the eye test, because they'll see you're playing the game, quote unquote. And then under there, you want to do your experience. Same idea, quick, impactful, not task driven, but value accomplishments driven. Value and accomplishments driven. What's your unique selling proposition? Unique selling proposition. What have you done in that role that make you you and make you successful? If you want to do a task, like mention something about classroom management, well, then add on a couple numbers to it. Instead of saying perform classroom management, maybe say, you know, manage the classroom of 50+ students, comma, successfully instructing the, you know, English, science, and social studies curriculum, while achieving, you know, 100% success pass rate. You know, something like that, where, you know, it's really like going from just classroom management to an actual accomplishment that sounds like you're in this bottom line mentality and you're, you know, putting more value out there. Then you want to go in the education, keep it clean and simple. BS, comma, education, comma, Ohio State University. Leave it at that. Only keep the dates if you're entry level or with somebody who's been in the workforce for less than maybe 2-3 years. Then you want a certification. Keep it neat. You know, certified school instructor, comma, state of Ohio. Move on. And then you want affiliation, member, comma, the United States Teachers Association. You know, whatever it is. Move on. If you were like a fundraiser, you could put member/fundraiser, comma, United States Teaching Association. Then finally, any sort of like any sort of volunteerism. Volunteer, comma, Cleveland Food Bank. Move on. Keep it clean, concise, less is more. Use the white space to your advantage. Tap me if you need any help developing the resume. I also give out free reviews, so feel free to email me your resume. Check out jobstickers.com. That's my blog. And come on over and send me some information, or send me some questions if you have any. I'm always open door. So I'm always willing to share what I know and just help put people in the work. So that's the goal: get some butts in the seats and get people working. So thank you again for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow, 2 p.m. Ping me if you need the link. If you want to have the sign up link, it's every Tuesday and Wednesday at 2. Tuesday's Facebook.